Yeah, my name is Caden, and this is my collective resit assessment, desktop presentation, I suppose. So yeah, I just wanted to start off by basically saying that this past semester has been very eventful for me, to say the least. Yeah, I've had my struggles with recovery and also being absent from school or not being able to attend school. Um, and yeah, I feel like this is only I know, made me more stressed. It didn't help my situation with trying to um, work on the fact that I was trying to improve my procrastination or decrease my procrastination, I guess. Yeah, because obviously being absent from school then stockpiled a bunch of stuff up for me. Yeah, but I did really enjoy the past semester with having worked on the several assignments from through IMD, theory, and image class. Um, yeah, and I must say, I enjoyed working with such image heavy topics. I feel, and that's also what I've selected here now. And so I'll switch over to this screen, and I found that a lot of my work has basically had this idea of home almost. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna go through it very quickly. Um, and yeah, so in short, the this assignment is the IMD assignment, which I was absent for the individual for, so I then did the reset, which I will also show. But I really enjoyed this assignment with working with I guess video just generally because I haven't worked with video or found video footage as much. So it was really I don't know interesting to see and to learn how to basically use these, and yeah, I will send links to the uploaded YouTube clips for all these. Um, but basically, just how the how to just play with videos a bit and what you can do. So just loop stuff, or for example, work with this. I guess the threshold to say like a green screen effect of the different colors and remove them. Or also, I worked with the titles a lot and took them apart a bit, and also analyzed them in the sense of just took them out of the style the way they normally are. Just wrote them down regularly. So there was a bunch to do, and I really did enjoy it. Like it was yeah, but I was just absent for the presentation. It was the day after I got out of hospital. So then I'd worked with Hannes on basically com- uh, yeah, finding resit, and for that I then basically just I made a little walkthrough of what I had imagined my exhibition potentially looking like with visual action and audio descriptions, um, just to kind of guide the audience through the work. Um, and I found this to also to be very enjoyable and almost calming of a process to just lay out clearly on paper what I would have liked to do, like to basically just still be able to do it in a way, although I wasn't able to hang up a screen with an injured shoulder or uh, so on. But yeah, I really did enjoy the whole process and also working with the footage and then seeing what came out at the end with all these interesting different things, so to say. If we just play that again at the end here, I really like this, for example. Yeah, and then we have the uh, uh, the another assignment which is from the project week, in which I had chosen folk computing, in which we took computing power and used it or for the non-intended purpose, so to say. So I ended up making using some files and images and so on to make artworks. So here inspired of Mondrian, and this one using flags, for example, also inspired of Mondrian. And then I was thinking what else I could do with it, and I was thinking, well, you can also lay them out in a folder where it is as such, and then could, for example, click on it and then have families inside, or if we find, oh, not like that, that's just an image. PNG house copy is also, but in short, that we would get a forest, it can look as such that we just have trees and so on, and you could have uh, traffic on the roads, and yeah, it was just a really nice, like, small creative process where it was interesting to see what else can be done, in a way. So yeah, and then moving on to my last assignment, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about, which will be the image reset, or image process project in reset I did at the end now, which I base around the idea of also home again in my room. Apologies. Um, yeah, so that, and yeah, so for this project we were supposed to test with redesigning of artwork, and I had chosen the bedroom in Alice from Van Gogh, and analyzed it and taken it apart a bit with yeah, just the art analysis, I suppose. Some color theory, some line theory, um, and had tried to basically. I wanted to make my own makerspace, and how that changed throughout the years, as I did grow up in the same room, um, and I basically just, yeah, just wanted to portray my room the way Van Gogh portrayed his room in Arles, over three iterations, as he grew old, yeah, or over several years. Um, and so I came up with this. I wanted to portray my bedroom in a child sense, in a teenager sense, and then in a more current sense. And so I wanted to do this in, I was thinking potentially with watercolors, then something more like an architecture sketch and a 3D scan. And I was relating this to the watercolor sketch being more childlike, or more freeing, and something I would more have done as in the time of a child, like my creative process as a child, obviously watercolors, crayons, uh, colored pencils, all these, I feel like, not rudimentary but fundamental tools of art almost. Um, and so yeah, and then I was interested in architecture heavily, and so I had focused on this kind of line drawing, or architecture sketch, which I would have done a lot as a teenager, and growing up, and then finally going into something more like a 3D scan, and this would then obviously portray my room as is currently. However, for this I was debating if I use my own room, but felt it didn't quite fit the series in the end. So you'll see. But generally all this image working, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed coming together and looking at inspiration with Virginie, and kind of getting inspired to uh, construct something as such, which is a collage of four pieces, with the line drawing, the watercolor drawing, and the two scans combined, um, or also something like this, where the layers have been layered, and this also ended up being one of my final pieces. Uh, yeah, but overall, I really enjoyed the process of making and working with these images. And I said this about the previous project in image class as well, that yeah, just working with these images and working to deconstruct them and find the symbols in them, and how to almost relate them to each other, um, was I know, very interesting to learn, and very, very insightful to learn, or to to know more about. And I feel this would be also the final, yeah, the final point for me, basically, is how how I've basically, through theory and through image class, I've learned this idea of symbols and syntax, and how I've found that I do use this a lot in my art, or in my work just instinctively almost. Just that's normally how I feel like I have my red thread, so to say, is that there's something that needs to look or feel the same as the connection point, and that's also what I feel is very strong here, is this sense of it all kind of more or less has the same shape, just with different outlines, I feel. Um, yeah, and that would bring me to the end of my little presentation, and I hope uh, I hope to see you all again next year, and I hope I can only improve on here. I'm hoping to obviously get better with my procrastination and my planning. From this past semester, I've definitely learned just making it, and I don't know, getting. I always say this, getting out of my head, but even just with my thoughts, like just writing them down, or like the essays, writing them down, and putting my thoughts on paper is more helpful than just keeping them in my head. And same with image class, just making the images and working on them as they come. I find to be a lot more help than to just think about them constantly and just, yeah. Well, thank you.